Good evening. This is Hannah Klein. Welcome to my podcast, Hannah Klein's Time. Um, well, I told some people why I choose this type of music all the time. Um, there are reasons for it, but I'm not in the mood to talk about like politics, listening to like pop music by popular whatever. I mean, it's not about like those type of things anyways. So, but anyway, it's been a while already, but on May 15th, there was a brutal attack near so-called people say the West Bank, right? A pregnant wife. You know what? She's an innocent citizen. She's an Israeli. Um, well, from the headband, people can tell she's Jewish. Um, she was attacked by the Palestinian terrorists, and she was gunned down, and she was on her way to the delivery room, and she was killed by the Palestinian terrorists, and what happened was that Hamas was very pleased. The New York Times wrote about it. How? About NHK. NHK did not say any word about this woman. All the time, people do not know anything about the terrorist attacks like this. Like, this is worse than hate crimes. Okay? The terrorists, not just, have intentions. Well, it's very hard to understand the mindset of the terrorist. Maybe people think that way. But um, it's very cruel. And not just cruel, but they were overjoyed by the attack. And they were very pleased because a woman was killed. I mean, she has she's a mother of three, and her kids must be young. She's only 30 years old. I was pretty shocked, and then I was thinking for a while why Hamas was overjoyed. Well, what? It's because of the constant brutal attacks, right? That's what people think. That's what the media are saying. That's what the media are propagandizing, like propaganda, like making as a propaganda almost. And the angry Palestinians are doing this. But what about why are they happy? Oh, there's a reason for it. And I have been appalled since October 7th, but before that, I had been already appalled, but at some extent, October 7th was something unbearable. Um, um, if you would like to, if you don't have a copy of, if you have never read Dr. Anna Wilf's book, The War of Return. This book has information about the partition plan voted by the United Nations in November, and also what Ben-Gurion read out as a declaration of independence in Tel Aviv on May 14th. What he said, quote unquote, Dr. Wilf writes down, to participate in the upholding of the state on the basis of full and equal citizens, This is for the Arabs, okay? So I don't exactly understand the Japanese uh, feeling, well, I don't exactly understand what the Japanese are doing exactly. And the Japanese media, I think they're intentionally like manipulating the stories. And it's because they want to, in a sense. I believe so. And so they had to talk about Nekba today on NHK. And I was appalled to listen to it in the first place about Nekba. Well, why the Palestinian terrorist was overjoyed by the attack of the pregnant woman? Well, she was um she was a prey for them. I mean, and so why is NHK bringing up Nekba today? Exactly. And so they believe that what? The killings of the Israeli woman was the result of the constant bombings by the Israeli military? What are they thinking? I don't exactly understand. I mean, they just make up great stories and manipulate everything all the time like this. And I'm just, I don't, I really don't have words. And I don't like name calling, but I really have to do this because they said it on the international news in the afternoon. I really have to say I don't want to say the name of the program, but well, this woman, the broadcaster said, "This is the day Palestinian people lost their homeland, and they believed that it was just a short period of time, but they did not believe to have law. They did not expect that they had lost their land eternally." Oh, really? I mean, I really do not understand how the decision making on UNRWA has been done in Japan. And I just do not understand why Japan is completely ignoring on UNRWA. And I just do not understand our prime minister saying something just just stupid. I'm he is reading out the Palestinian propaganda. But just disappointing. You know what? It's very disappointing, and this is the result of the disinformation. It's not everyone that are totally blind, okay? I'm not blaming the government official, the entire government official, but some of them obviously know what's going on. I cannot tell the name, but I cannot tell the name for many reasons, but the former Ministry of Foreign Affairs official was making a speech about the Palestinian propaganda and the news on Gaza, because we do not see any facts brought by the Japanese media on its own, because they cannot be present there in Gaza, obviously, because it's very dangerous, and they were not even present on October 7th. I mean, site for even now. I mean, I really am shocked in a sense what they're doing. And they are broadcasting on Gaza all the time. on October 7th, the massacre occurred in Israel. And what they do is they start broadcasting, they start calling the Palestinian Authority, which is Gaza Health Ministry. And and they read out the numbers. I mean, I really would like to know how they approach them in the first place, or through Qatar. I mean, Al Jazeera obviously is the partner of NHK, and I mean, and by the way, the reason why it's catastrophe for Nekba, for the Palestinians, there were Arabs, Arab, that was Arab, Liberation Army that attacked the land of Palestine. Okay, it was so. I really have to say that who was attacked on this exact date? It was the Israelis, the future Israelis, the Jewish people, and who were massacred. They brutally killed the not just the hostages, but the soldiers that they kept, and they think it's fine to this day for some reason. And this Qatari prime minister said that one party wants to end the war. What kind of excuse is that? I mean, what kind of excuse is that in the first place? In any war, if there is pause or there is an end of the war, the bodies of the soldiers must be returned with honor. I mean, what the Arabs are doing? They kill innocent women and they're happy and what? So they are overjoyed by massacring innocent Israelis, and they are fine. And it's not just they're fine, but they need to do it to get pleased. I mean, it's sickness itself. I talk about this in this manner because I just heard something very, very sick. That's the online conversation between the two parties. It was horrific and I was so disgusted. It was so anti-Semitic. So I would first of all be ashamed to be anti-Semitic, or I would be disgusted if I were anti-Semitic. I mean, in any ways, I would never say anything anti-Semitic, because I don't want to be classified into that party. Okay? They are sick. They don't think rape is the wrong thing. I mean, they don't think burning people alive is wrong. They think everything is fine. They think that what they did on October 7th, that was fine to them. So a lot of people might think only 1,200 people compared with 50,000. They come with the number now. But okay, so 70%, more than 70% are Hamas fighters. And this Qatari foreign minister said, we're all Hamas. Wow. And say now Qatar is obviously saying one party wants to end the war. What about the hostages? I mean, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is not saying something strange. All the hostages' bodies, including the ones deceased, okay, they must be returned with honor. What they did was Sherry Bibas and Kufir Ariel, that was beyond disrespectful. That was something unacceptable to see. Yeah, that stage must be destroyed. I'm not promoting a war, but what is the whole point? Okay, I saw a footage of this ridiculous protest in front of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Japan. And I have seen ones in Shibuya. Who are they? They're not Japanese. They're speaking English and a lot of, I don't know what kind of English that is. Okay? They're not exactly North American or whatever, like some people from English-speaking countries. You are not human, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, these are all anti-Semites. That's what I really feel. And anti-Semites, Israel is not pressuring them. There are protests of Nakba in Israel, Tel Aviv, Israel, at a university. I mean, who is pressuring Israel? That's what Hamas is doing. That's what Qatar is doing. That's what Turkey is trying to do. And yeah, that was a stressful thing that, what Qatar was saying the whole few days. They're lying all the time. What is the whole point of what is the whole point of believing their words in the first place while they are obviously lying and they believe that we can all be bought? I mean, we don't care about the Qatar whatever, but all the hostages must be returned. The entire hostages, including the deceased ones. I mean, that has to be the preconditions in the first place. And the bodies cannot be destroyed during the capture. That's Hamas would do anything. They would put the deceased body where there could be airstrikes by the Israeli Air Force. I mean, that's what they would do. So I would say that there has to be preconditions that Israel has to demand the body returned without damage. And it's possible to check how they were damaged. Hamas cannot lie such a thing. I mean, everyone, okay, every hostage has a family, relatives, the loved ones, so many people who care about them. And I am just totally appalled at NHK saying, oh, the Palestinians are suffering. Who started this UNRWA? Because of the Arabs, okay? Because of all these Arabs that started the war to annihilate the Jewish, not the Jewish state, but the entire Jewish population. I mean, they needed to do it? Really? I don't think so, but they wanted to do it, and they're still demanding to do it. They are saying, we need to let us do it. And NHK says like something like, well, Hamas wants to hear. Fine. They probably they're in partnership. But NHK needs to read out the Hamas number, the Hamas Health Ministry, which is Gaza Health Ministry. By the way, UNRWA is Hamas. Hamas is UNRWA. Yeah, NHK shouldn't miss that part too. And I really think there is one bad attitude as a result of propaganda in Japan. It's very sad to say. When I think about this Arab war, Israeli-Arab war, I think of World War II. Propaganda, it's sad to say, doesn't come off of people very easily once they believe it. It's not as easy as people believe. People think people can change. I really hope so. However, I have seen many cases where there are Japanese who believe in the propaganda from World War II. Okay? So these Japanese media companies, are responsible for the Japanese. And they are supposed to inform the Japanese of the true information. However, they're not doing it for some reason. I was not going to, well, this is something, you know what, I just would laugh with my friends and that was it. But I just did not need to say such a thing. But it's true. I was thinking for a long time, well, after I became an author, there was something before I decided to be an author. However, writing something is important. I have liked to write all the time. As I have said, I have given speeches, which is also about expressing myself. However, it's very important to convey a message in a manner that people can understand, and at the same time, I need to tell the public what, not what they want, but in a manner that they are able to understand, and also at the same time, in a manner that they want to know more. That's something important, I think. But these days, the media are just trying to fish a story, picks it up irresponsibly, talk about it, and they forget about it for a while, and maybe they forget about it forever, but sometimes it comes up. That happens. That keeps happening all the time with this news stories the whole time. And so, I mean, NHK has archives, what they did as documentaries, but I see the narratives still that this propaganda has not gone away, which is scary. And I really think it's important for them to understand why Japan had to lose, okay? It had to lose. I mean, Japan is not a loser, but it's about the war. It's important to be a good loser, but for some reason it's lasting to this day. After what, 80 years? People cannot get off of it? Well, I'm not talking about I'm not generalizing everyone. People are different. Everyone's different. However, I have to say that there are people who are polluted with propaganda. Just don't generalize. Just See, Japan was not a victim nation. I just do not like that narrative in the first place. And don't ever say that Holocaust is, well, I have to say this way. Holocaust is never going to expire. That's a part of history of the Jewish population. And that's a tragedy for them. They're not, so many just people lost their families and their loved ones. And I mean including friends. And we cannot just say, well, like if you listen to the this Hamas protesters in the United States, for example, I mean, they are supporting what Hamas did on October 7th, and they are talking about the Holocaust at the same time. We have to deny Holocaust. Like, what is that? Okay, it is beyond what I can just see, really, or hear. My ear hurts, really. But at the same time, you know what? I need to see this every day. I don't know what to say, but I would say that the media companies need to correct what they're doing. Or this present is future already. Future doesn't come in the future. The future is now. So what the media companies are doing, that's the future. And I hope that what they understand with Nekba in the first place. Okay? Catastrophe caused by the Arabs. Okay? If you don't have books on Arab-Israeli War, that's of 1948, you can find information in the State Department homepage as well in English. And if you need a translation, you can have the translation on Google too. So, I hope that people have it's late, a good night. And I hope that people have a good morning in the United States. And, well, it's Shabbat Friday, so I have to say Shabbat Shalom. Good night.